Mitch Albom's Big Say Detroit fundraiser is tomorrow. The broadcast on WJR touches on success stories of the people they have helped as they ask you to help out for the holidays. And here with us now is Mitch Albom himself. I am so excited to be able to be speaking with you this afternoon.
Well, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Of course. So first off, let's talk about the Radiothon. Since 2021, $12.5 million. Yeah. How did you get the idea for this Radiothon?
Well, we already had the charity Say Detroit, and we were looking for a way to try to raise money in a single day. I've been very blessed to meet a lot of people along my journey, athletes, musicians, actors who have been in the movies of my books. So I decided I was going to use one day where I was going to call on every single one of them. And we started it for 15 hours 12 years ago on WJR. I raised a few $100,000. Now we're up to the 12th one, and last year we raised $1.8 million in a single day. And it's not just the famous people who call in, like we have Hugh Jackman and Hoda Kotb and Smokey Robinson and all that will be on tomorrow, but it's the stories of the people who we help that help raise the money. And I hope everybody comes out to Somerset or calls in and listens on WJR or watches on some of our live streams.
What is a story in particular that might stand out to you of someone that you've been able to help through this Radiothon?
Well, every year we give out several houses through our Working Homes, Working Families project. And those are probably the most moving because you're talking about families that have children. Sometimes we're sleeping in cars and didn't have any place to go. And we refurbish houses with one of our charities, and then we give the keys to the family. And if they pay the taxes and utilities for 2 years, the house is theirs. And the looks on their faces when they realize they're not going to sleep in a car anymore, and the kids, and the houses are decorated beautifully, and the kids have their own rooms. So that's one of many, many very moving moments during the Radiothon.
Gosh, I'm sure. I can't imagine being able to give a gift of that extent. So it's great what you and all your celebrity friends are doing. I know you're doing this at Somerset Collection, which is in Troy. Anyone else going to be with you at Somerset?
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, we have our whole crew that's there, but then a number of people are coming down. I know a lot of the TV celebrities who are here in town, a lot of the local athletes, some of the Michigan football players from their championship team are going to be there. Different comedians join us, and then there's a big screen where it's shown. So even if it's a Hugh Jackman or a Hoda Kotb or somebody coming from New York or London or whatever, you can still see them while you're there. So it's actually a pretty good show if people want to come out to Somerset and watch it.
I actually last year just so happened to be at Somerset and was
just
walking
happened
by.
To be shopping.
I know, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's Mitch,
Well, maybe you'll happen to be there and come on with us tomorrow.
Yeah, why not? That would be great. Now, you also have a new book out, which is, great that we're talking about the Radiothon, but The Little Liar. And I was telling you, I've read some of your books and they're great, and they usually have just like a really inspirational meaning.
Yeah.
What motivated you to write this book, and is there some sort of meaning that you can hint at without giving anything away?
Yeah, it's pretty timely for the holidays because it's about hope and forgiveness and truth. And it's narrated by the voice of truth, actually, the book. And it follows a little boy during the war who's never told a lie in his life. And he's tricked by the Germans into telling the first lie of his life, that he's on train platforms, and he tells the people who are getting on that it's going to be safe. They're going to new homes and new jobs. And only after he sees his own family being put on does he find out that he's been tricked into lying and that they're actually going to concentration camps. And it's what happens to him over the next 40 years as a result of that one lie, and how his family tries to find him to forgive him, how the girl he loves tries to find him to forgive him, and what he does to be forgiven. So it sort of asks that question, what's the biggest lie, worst lie you've ever told in your life, and what would you do to be forgiven for that lie, and what does it take to find that forgiveness? So I think that's something all of us probably have gone through at some point or another.
Yeah, that's so powerful, and you're right. Is that what kind of inspired you, just this idea of we all tell lies, unfortunately? It's just a part of life, even if you're a wonderful human being. Was that kind of the thought process?
Well, and I wanted to show that even under the most dire circumstances, such as during World War II and such as during the concentration camps, there's still hope. There's still hope. And how do you find hope under really difficult times? That's a message that works for today. That's a message that works for 50 years ago, and it's going to probably hold up 50 years from now.
I just love the idea of this book, and I just think even the fact that you were able to create such a concept and then put it into words just is so inspiring, and I love reading these books, especially around the holidays. Where can people buy one for themselves?
Hopefully, pretty much any place you can get a book. If you can't, let me know. But between Amazon and all the bookstores around and all the independent bookstores and the chains, you should be able to get one.
Okay, perfect.
Or I'll just come on your
checking.
show and give you one.
I know. As soon as we get to commercial break, do you think you could sign this?
I can say, everyone out there who has a TV show, I will come to your show and give you one. That's how we distribute.
I'm glad that I was able to do that, ring into that one. So thank you. And, you know, saydetroit.org, correct, for people that want to learn more about the Radiothon?
SayDetroit.org, Mitch Albom, Radiothon.com. Listen on WJR, watch on the live streams, come out to Somerset. It'll be a great event. We raised $1.8 million last year. I don't know if we can do that again, but we're going to shoot for it.
I have high hopes for you.
Me too.
Mitch, thank you so much for being here.